welcome to our demo session. So
I start the record, by the way.
Okay, let me share my screen. So I will start with ITSM core, and then I will continue with remote monitoring and management, and then I will finish it with patch management. So today for ITSM core side, we have two new features. Let me start with the first one. The first feature is the ability to enforce passwords to be changed every after a predefined amount of time. As you know, we already have this feature on ITarian portal site, so administrators can force their users to renew their passwords after some amount of time. And now this capability is available for also for ITSM users as well. So it is configured from settings and portal setup, and then account security. And when you click to edit, there is a new option, force password expiry, and when it is clicked, the administrator is able to set an expiration period starting from 45 days up to 3 years. This is for normal accounts, but if the account is a reseller, then according to GDPR policies and CAM restrictions, the password expiry period cannot be longer than 90 days. So there will be two options for reseller accounts, just like the setting on ITarian portal site. So when the administrator selects a period, it means that for example, if a user's password was lastly changed 90 days ago and the setting is applied for 45 days, then the user will be asked to renew their password on their next login. So it doesn't apply, I mean, the counter doesn't start after this setting is set up. Instead, it looks the last password change date of any user and prompt if they need to change their password or not. So let's save it, and let me show how it looks like when the user has 7 days down to 0 days left until their password is expired. So the user will see a notification pop up just after the login saying that you have 2 days in this example, and the user will be able to change the password or remind remind them later, so that on next login it will be shown again until the password is expired. So if the user clicks to change, it asks for old password and new password, and when the user clicks to change, the password is changed. So let me show you how it looks like for an already expired user. So when the password is already expired, upon the login, the user has to change their password. So they cannot continue without changing it. So it is how it looks like when the password is expired. So any question about this feature. Okay, let me continue with the second feature for ITSM.
Really quick, Ilgaz, this is
Yeah.
Nubi. I have a question.
Yeah.
For the two-factor authentication, if we force the users to use 2FA, if there's any problem using two-factor, like if they can't get to Google Authenticator, do they have static codes as well for each user?
You mean two-factor? Of course they have.
Okay.
So when they configure, there are, if I'm not mistaken, 10 authentication codes, static codes shared with user. We expect them to save the codes
Correct.
somewhere else, and we never show them again.
Okay.
But they do have some static authentication codes.
I think that gets emailed to them as well, but we do
Yes.
urge them to save it somewhere. So
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, but this is another topic. So it's about password expiration. But what you asked is more about the usage of two-factor authentication.
Right. So if we're going to force them to use the two-factor authentication with the forced password expiration, I just wanted to know if there's any problem with Google Authenticator. If they can't, access two-factor authentication, could they use the static codes with this password reset?
No, they don't, because in that case, after they successfully log in with the old expired password, they need to enter their authentication code before resetting the old password.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So the second feature is now ITSM Endpoint Manager supports Android 10 Knox devices. Previously, we extended our operating system support with Android 10. Now we also support the Knox version of Android 10 edition. So that's all for ITSM core site. Let me continue with remote monitoring and management. So we have one new feature and one improvement. So the first feature is the ability to turn on and off all alerts. So the aim of this feature is to be able to, customers to be able to disable some alerts so that they won't receive unwanted alerts or notifications during some period of time. So when you go to alert section, and there are two new buttons on alert details. You can either turn on or turn off the alert. So when the alert is turned off, there's a notification shown in the alert detail page saying that this alert is turned off and all the monitors and procedures assigned with this alert won't trigger any notification. So we are warning the customers to be careful about using this alert on any monitors or procedures or etc. And also this can be done on the alerts main page. You can choose multiple alerts and turn off those alerts or turn on those alerts. And also you can see the status of the alert, of the related alert. And also on monitor's side, when a turned off alert is chosen, for example, I'm choosing this alert, it shows also a notification saying that the alert is turned off and if the monitor is triggered, there won't be any notification sent. So this feature is all about this. And about the improvement, as you know, we have device control monitor. So on security events, we have new device blocked by device control. As you all know, this condition is triggered when an external device is plugged into the computer and it gets blocked. The problem was here is that when the agent was updated, for example, when an external device is blocked, the related monitor is triggered and the alert is created. But then when the agent is updated, the same already blocked device is again was being triggered, so that it was confusing our users. So now we improved this condition so that even if the agent gets an update, this condition won't trigger any alert for already blocked devices. Is there any question about this feature? Okay, I will continue with patch management then. It's all for RMM side. So for patch management, we have one new feature, and it was expected by a lot of customers. So now we have the capability to approve and disapprove operating system patches and third-party application patches. So on patch management main page, operating system tab, we now have the ability to approve or decline any patch, so that any declined, disapproved patch won't get installed on the endpoint. Also, we have an auto-approve capability. So when the auto-approve is on, it means that all new patches will be automatically approved by the system itself, and then it will be applied to all endpoints automatically. But when any patch is declined, is not approved, then those patches won't get installed on the endpoint. You can also search by status. So we have 4 status: auto-approved, approved, declined, and waiting for approval. Waiting for approval status means that auto-approval is turned off and the patch is waiting for an approval before it gets installed on the endpoint, on any endpoint. So if any patch status is waiting for approval, it means that first that patch has to be approved by an administrator. Only then it can be applied to any endpoint. Is there any question about this? So for example, for this patch, it is declined and it cannot be installed on any endpoint. Also, it cannot be installed over a patch procedure as well. So we also have the same capability for third-party applications with also the same filtering mechanism. So that's all for this feature. Is there any question?
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
After let's say you decline a patch can you later approve it down the line?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So you can always decline an already approved or auto-approved patch. Also, you can approve an already declined patch.
Okay, perfect.
A quick question: can we hide the decline packages?
Yes, of course.
Perfect.
So it's totally different feature. We already have hide and unhide patches. So when you hide so you are asking auto hide.
If it's possible.
Decline. No,
Oh,
it's not implemented yet, but it's a good improvement.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me take my notes.
Yeah, maybe we can add that to the filter.
Hide. Yeah. Yeah, like auto hide declined patches. Yeah, good suggestion. Okay. It's not currently available. I can say that.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, Georgiana, I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry, Georgiana, it's with a client. Thank you for your information.
Okay. 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 That's all for patch management. If there are no questions, we will continue with I think cybersecurity or CCS.
Thank you so much, because I think there is no more questions.
Okay.
Let's continue with CCS. Zeynep, I'm making you the host.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Hello, everyone. I will start with cybersecurity and continue with Comodo client security. We are releasing two features for cybersecurity. First item is migrating DLP monitoring rules from profile level to portal level. First, we add name and ID column information also for monitoring rules. This is the last demos profile, an existing profile which have monitoring rules I showed you before. Under monitoring tabs, if we navigate this tab, there is a new column, name column, inside monitoring, and these two rules were from previous version. There was no names for these rules. We added without names. But after migrating these monitoring rules profile level from to portal level, we add this name and ID information for them. First, we add the rule type for existing ones, and then the profile name we added as a name. If we have more than one monitoring rule inside the profile, we add this number removal storage to DL March demo number for the making this name unique. And we add a link for DLP data loss prevention tab for here. If we click this rules from monitoring rules, it will direct us to data loss prevention. Also, what is different for this page? Also, we add button, move up, move down, and remove button to monitoring rules. When we click add button, we can only add existing rules inside here. If we want to create a new rule, we have to go to data loss prevention screen. We can add existing rules inside profile. If we click and go directly to data loss prevention, and we can see we have a name and description. We have a monitoring type and action, ignore and block we have, and log when this action is performed. As a criteria, we have only one option for USB data devices. It will be added later sprints. And also we have a profile section now for monitoring rules also. We can add one rule to more than one profiles with this feature. And we can create, for example, when we click create button, you can see that we can add monitoring rules here. And we can add name, description, and we have only removable storage rule for now for ITSM side. So it's already selected. As action also we have ignore and block, and log when action is performed. The same for criteria and profiles is same. Second item is about ability to hide, unhide containment events. We have we add two action buttons to containment page. If we want to hide an event, we can hide and unhide from here. I can hide this event if particular file hash because it makes containment page crowded. There is a new filter also for show hidden files. If we select this filter, we can see the darker blue ones is hidden files. And if I click this button, and we can see unhide button is activated. Also, this change will not affect security dashboard page. We will be still able to see all events, even if they are hidden from containment. For example, this one is hidden. I will copy this file's hash and go directly to security dashboard. And where we can see, because if we hide from security dashboard, it will affect counts for events and make conflicts. Also for audit logs, we have a new event names for hide and unhide actions. We separate the events. Let me hide first one. I will hide and unhide this event. And you can see that containment file visibility hide and unhide inside audit logs, and with information we have as a hash. It is available inside audit logs also. This is all for cybersecurity. If there is no question, I will continue with CCS. We are releasing 3 features for CCS. First, I will start with DLP removable storage simplify UI. Before we had add edit ability for DLP monitoring rules. I will show the existing. This is the last version of CCS. We had add edit buttons for monitoring rules and remove, move up, move down. We can add a screenshot, or we can add a removable storage from CCS. We removed this ability from CCS. There will be only a read-only rule list for CCS, we can only see created rules from ITSM side. There will be no changes for CCS because we don't want to change customers from CCS side. We want to make all DLP rules changed and managed by ITSM portal. So we removed all the details from here. And also we added a name and ID column for monitoring rules. As I mentioned before in cybersecurity demo, as you can see, we have a screenshot rule and we have a rule name, and for removable storage rule also we add a rule name inside here. Also I can show a log example for CCS which we added for ITSM integration. For example, this is a screenshot rule and we have a ID and name column for name field. For these monitoring rules. This is our screenshot rule for this notepad. We will now sending ID and name to ITSM portal inside logs. Also, I can show you this name column inside logs. We are logging with name column also. The last version we don't have any name column for monitoring rules. Now we have a rule name column also for CCS also monitoring rules. And the last feature is extend CCS logs with username and user SID. I run this ability for virus scope. I created the unrecognized files for CCS, and I run this exe, test exe, and for showing you the username and SID logs, we can see inside virus scope events. As an example, we can export the virus scope events, and this is the one I created before. This one. As you can see, we have a username and user SID for our logs now. We will send this logs information to ITSM portal for using later for DLP events to be able to see which user had this file, which user make an unwanted attempt for DLP rules. So this is a detail for now this CCS logs, and also I can show you from CCS logs. This is our SQL server for CCS, and this is our virus scope table. And inside our tables, we can see that we have a user SID column and also a username column for CCS. And this is the last feature for CCS for this sprint. If there is no question, my features is that.
Thank you so much, Zeynep.
Thank you.
I think there is no questions. We can continue with remote control side. Then I'm making to the cohort.
Okay, thank you, Elif. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. We have one feature to release this sprint from remote control, which is password expiry notification. Actually, we have two possible scenarios for this feature. To start with first one, I'm moving on sign in button. If your password has expired, you can see this notification, and you need to change your password to use remote control. By clicking change password button, you can see the Endpoint Manager page directly, and to move login, you can change your password, and after change your password, you can use remote control as usual. And for second scenario, I want to change my credentials. And for second scenario, if your password will expire in, for example, 7 days, you will see this notification. You can use remote control even if without change your password, but you will see this notification after 7th day until it's changed. Again, you can click change password button, and again, Endpoint Manager page will be shown. And as Ilgav mentioned before, we have two options, remind me later or change password options. You can change your password, and you will use your remote control as usual. Actually, that's all. We have only one feature about remote control. So if you have any question, please ask me.
Thank you so much, Gizem. I think
Okay.
we don't have any question.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
thank you.
thank you. I would like to mention about one more feature that we have on the June release. Let me share my screen. Can you see my Comodo 1 portal right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. As you know, we are sending an invoice to our customers, and in the current scenario, we are not sending any PDF attachment to them. But with June release, we will be sending PDF attachment inside the invoices, and also our customers will be able to download their PDF whenever they want under the management, application, and billing tab. As you know, we are listed all customers' invoices in there, and now we have an invoice tab, and customer can be able to download this PDF, and they can have this invoice whenever they want. And also, as I mentioned, we also attached invoice. We also attached PDF inside the invoice. They can also open inside the email. I hope. Yeah. So that's all, I think, for the June releases. Do you have any question about all the features? I think no. I will thank you so much for joining us. I will send the record after the session, and see you next release.